Today, I'm going to teach you how to get rich with dropshipping in 2025 and scale to 100 grand months by giving you the best practical advice that I wish I knew when I was starting this journey over 6 years ago on this exact day when I wrote out my resolution that I wanted to create a successful dropshipping business that could replace my full-time income and allow me to work from anywhere, to buy my home, to buy my dream car, the dream watch, that do what it do at the club so I can pull a big booty Latina that will eventually become my wife and give me 3 D1 babies. So if that is something you want, or maybe you want to make 5 grand a month profit, 10 grand a month profit, I will teach you the person you need to become, the problems that you need to also face and deal with in order to get to that desire and goal of yours. Now, before we get into all the practical advice and just how to dropship properly in 2025, you need to first realize that nothing changes if nothing changes. A lot of you have been stuck in this pattern of just constantly watching, learning masturbation, jacking off to all the great strategies that Ethan D gives to you, but you never apply it. That is going to be one of the biggest problems that you have to overcome first off. So how do you defeat that? You need to have an action bias. You need to realize and identify that first off, doing this, watching these videos, while it might give you that temporary burst of motivation to get your to-do list done today, it's not going to help you get it done every single day. And that's the consistency and discipline that you are going to need in order to become successful. When you have your 3, 5, 8 hours a day that you can dedicate to this, whatever it is, the majority, 90% to 100%, ideally that time should be spent on the right actions that actually move the needle. And those actions are doing product research, building websites, creating ads, and media buying. If you focus all of your time and attention on those 4 key things, you are going to dramatically increase your results and speed up that learning curve more than anyone else that is just constantly 80-90% of their time watching YouTube videos, watching other people make money. They are just cucks that just want to see other people become successful instead of themselves. And I'm sure they'll tell you, no, I want to become successful. But when you look at their actions, it doesn't align. And maybe yours don't align right now. And that could be because you have a limiting belief where you truly maybe don't believe in yourself. Maybe you don't believe it's possible for you to see these types of results. And I can understand that. If you've never done something before, why would you have the belief that you could accomplish something that you've never done? It's tough. So for me, the way I always rationalized it is that I saw and I surrounded myself with other people that were successful. I joined those Discord groups. I joined those mentorships. And when I saw the caliber of people that were getting results, I kind of realized to myself, oh my gosh, these people are lukewarm IQ. They're dumb as a rock. They did not even graduate high school in a lot of cases, yet they're somehow successful. Therefore, I can do this. It's possible. I mean, look at myself, guys. I'm sitting here. I bought a new condo on the water. I got a $2 million house behind me. My neighbors are bougie. They're rich. I'm going to buy my Porsche. I got the Rollie that do what it do. And I'm an idiot. I have ADHD. I struggle with focus. I have had my demons, guys. I have had lack of self-belief in myself. Yet by focusing on the right things, by building the right teams, by building those systems, I don't work tremendously hard, folks. Yet I am able to accomplish these financial goals for myself just because I know what to prioritize. In fact, I've had years where I've worked 3 times as hard as I did in 2024, yet I made 3 times less because I thought I was productive when really I was keeping myself busy, but not really working smart. So to work smart, you focus on those 4 things. When you have 3 hours a day, the way that you get 10 hours of work done in 3 hours is you prioritize the things that move the needle, which might be at the start of the week. Focus on product research. Build up your product list by going on tools like CaloData, like PP ads, like Timo. And if you're wondering how to use those tools, I have plenty of videos and I'll link them up on how you can use those and the best strategies. But if you focus and put in the reps every single day for week after week after week, you are going to develop the eye to find winning products. Then the next step on Tuesday, Wednesday, start building websites, start building templates, start using Shrine, start using other themes that you want to get good at. And by putting in the reps, by focusing on quantity, your quality is naturally going to rise by putting in those reps. Because the number 2 biggest problem that you're going to have that's going to prevent you from being successful is you didn't develop your skills. Your skills are not developed enough for you to take a product that could be a winner and make it into a winner. Because I could test the same product as you right now, and the odds of me making that a winner are 10 times greater because I know how to make winning ads. I've had the frame of reference. I've had the experience. I know what templates work. I know what hooks work. I know all of the different really minute details that when you put them all together, when you put these puzzle pieces all into one diagram, they are going to work. But until you do that, you have to keep testing. You have to keep improving. You have to have that feedback loop where test after test, you're noticing, okay, is my cost per click where it needs to be? Ideally, below 75 cents. But if it's $2 a click every single time you test a product, then your ads are an issue. Your hooks aren't good enough. People aren't watching your ad to the end. You're not enticing enough with the benefits. There's your problem. Go fix it with the next product test. Focus more time and attention on studying winning ads that have gotten good click-through rates, that have gotten sales, and start implementing some of those strategies and techniques into your own ads. If my website is getting traffic but not converting, I have a website issue. Potentially also an ad issue in targeting. Maybe I'm attracting a low-quality audience with my ads, and that's why it's not working. There's a variety of different reasons why a website won't perform, and I'm sure I'm going to have a video on that soon. But most likely your offer isn't good enough. That's the number one issue with websites not performing. Am I split testing my website? No, there's your problem. Am I trying out different price points? And did I do my research to understand what the perceived value is of that product before testing? Do I have the right margins? Do I know what social proof will actually convince someone that this product works? Am I using before and afters? Is my above the fold optimized with the right benefits? All of those little details should be improved and iterated upon every single test. And if you get 1% better, over time that compounds. It's like the book Atomic Habits, which you haven't read, is something that I would highly recommend because it focuses on not worrying about your goals. Because if you, at the start of this year, you probably wrote down all your goals, all your resolutions and all that, but I would genuinely say to yourself, fuck the goals you've written down. Fuck your resolutions. Just take fucking action. Focus on consistency over these big swings of motivation. I would rather you focus 1 hour a day of productive work every single day and getting 1% better at dropshipping or whatever it is that you desire than once a week you have this big swing of motivation. You watch a David Goggins video, you get a little bit hyped up, and you work 3-4 hours a day. But then the rest of the week you do nothing. You are not going to compound your results. You are not going to see the progress that you need in order to keep going. And that leads me to my third biggest issue and the third biggest problem that you will have to overcome if you want to be successful. And that's that you will quit too soon. Your time horizon is too short. You're too focused on the outcomes. And when you focus on money, like you are, Mr. Krabs, money, you are not going to get that result. You have to detach from the outcome. It's like anything in life. You focus on the inputs and the outcomes will be the reflection of what inputs you put in. If you focus on testing products at a high quality level and putting in the reps, testing 1 to 2 products a week, you are going to get the end result naturally. You won't even have to focus on making 10 grand a month. It's going to be a byproduct of the actions and inputs you put in. But if you're constantly focused on chasing money, on these learning new strategies, learning masturbation, new Facebook ad strategy, new template that's going to magically make you sales, you're going to be stuck in the same place, my friend, when we get to next year. And you watch this next video where I'm in an even bigger house with an even bigger Rolex and a bigger chain. Oh my gosh. But you get the point. Focus on the inputs. Focus on getting 1% better. It's not going to all happen at once. Even me. I wanted to become a professional soccer player, and anyone that wants that goal has to practice every single day for years and years and years. No one has this false expectation that, oh, if I practice every single day for 3 months, I'm going to become a pro. That's idiotic. And for some reason, one of the hardest things to do, which is starting a business and becoming successful and building an income, they have these false narratives that I'm going to somehow become successful in a month. Where does that ever happen in life? It doesn't. So stop setting yourself up from failure from the get-go by thinking that you're just magically going to get results in a few months. It might take you 6 months. It might take you a year. It might take you 2 years. So be it. Tough titties. Because the end result, the prize at the end of the rainbow is worth it. That's what should keep you motivated. That's what should keep you disciplined in those tough times when you're failing and you're having this time where you're spending money and it's not working. Your self-doubt is eating at yourself. Knowing that if I do this right, if I keep focusing, if I just don't give up, the reward could be 10 grand a month. It could be changing my family's life. It could be buying a new place. It could be being financially free. It could be even making Money that is unheard of in any other industry, because the top dropshippers are making millions every single year. When they exit their brands, they're making 8 figures, 7 figures, 6 figures. Just insane amounts of money for the competence of that person, if we're really being honest. It's possible. Unlike any other business model. I mean, if I want to become a pro soccer player, the average pro soccer player makes about 10 grand a year, about $1,000 a month. Obviously, the elite ones, the Kylian Mbappe's make, 200, 300 million a year. That's ridiculous. But the average ones that dedicate 10, 20, their whole entire life, years, if they're good enough and they don't get injured, make about 10 grand a year. That is really the ideal payoff. Yet they're willing to do it gladly. Yet you aren't willing to dedicate a year. It just makes absolutely zero sense. So, if you want to become successful, focus on the inputs, stop doing the learning masturbation. You get 1% better, just like I'm trying to do with my soccer. I want to still become a pro soccer player. So what am I going to do? I'm going to practice every single day. I'm not going to focus on trying to become a pro after a week. I know a process. Everything in dropshipping and in life is a process. You focus on that process, not on the end result. Obviously, what you do every single day should have an output in mind. But when you focus on the inputs, the exciting outputs will result. Now, the other things to keep in mind. I know you probably want some tactical advice. Honestly, I have an 8-hour free course that if you watch, you'll know every single strategy you need to do, and you just need to focus on execution after that. Because in business, 90% of results come from execution, 10% come from strategies. That is one of the smartest things I learned from one of my mentors, Dan Henry, where his analogy was always, if I gave 100 movie actors the same script, the one who's going to get the part, my Leonardo DiCaprio, my A-list on the front of my movie cover like The Rock, is going to be the one that executed that script the best. Even though everyone had the same strategies, they all had the same script. And it's the same thing in dropshipping. Everyone has the same tools, ladies and gents. Everyone has Calidata. They have Temu. They have PP ads for doing product research. Almost everyone's using the same Shopify theme of Shrine, of using Debutify, of using whatever. Everyone's using the same platforms of Facebook ads, TikTok ads to run their ads. We all have the same tools, so therefore the ones that are going to be successful are the ones that know how to execute and use those tools the best. And the ones that know how to use those tools the best typically are the ones that have put in the most reps, that have learned the most, that have improved, that have iterated, that also got outside perspective from other people to learn new strategies, to learn those 1 to 2 tweaks that once they implemented really helped them unlock a new level of scale that they could have never seen because they had their blinders on. And that might be your biggest problem right now. If you've been doing this for a while, you don't know what you don't know because you haven't really done it before. You don't know what your problems are. You put in the reps, you maybe tested 10, 20, 30 products, but haven't seen the results because you don't know what you're missing. And in those cases, I'd say, my friend, join a Discord, join a one-on-one. It could be mine, it could be someone else's that you trust more. I honestly don't care. But you should learn from someone that is giving you this outside perspective and giving you real feedback on everything that you're doing, from your product selection to your websites to your ads. And that's only something you typically are going to get when you pay a premium for one-on-one coaching. That's the reality. That's the investment that you'll have to make into yourself if you truly want to be successful. And I know, even when I was 18 years old and I had $12,000 in my bank account, after getting my first decent success, I invested $10,000 of that into multiple coaches. It was a gamble. But you have to have a different relationship to money and investments than the average person would. Because an entrepreneur is just someone that takes abnormally large risks and is comfortable with doing so in order for an output and an outcome that is far greater than you would ever achieve by staying safe and playing the reasonable game. Because the reasonable game is you stay in that comfy job. You stay doing all these opportunities of get rich quick, of crypto, Forex, and doing all that. You stay in that feedback loop and nothing changes. You get comfortable. You sit on your ass making your $6,000 a month. You watch Netflix with your very plain Jane wife. You drive a shitty car. You go to the gym maybe once or twice a week. You go out with your boys on Friday night to forget everything and try to escape real life, all you're focused on is how do I distract myself from my life that I have built myself through my actions and that I have full responsibility for, but am not happy with. That is real life for 90 to 95% of people. And that, my friend, is something that I would never want. And I'm sure as someone watching this video and have gone this far, something that you don't want either. So the final parts of wisdom I will give to you that I wish I knew is that when you are starting this journey, work-life balance is going to be a myth. It does not exist. When you are in the building mode of creating something that does not exist, to get that initial momentum, that initial inertia, it's going to require you to make sacrifices and become someone that you have never become before in your life. That might be cutting off your friends for a few months. That might be getting rid of those apps on your phone that you know are keeping you distracted. You will have to create an environment around yourself that is distraction-free so that way you can actually focus. Because usually the actual biggest problem people have is that they want to be successful, but they just don't know how to focus. Because we live in a generation where your attention is being bought by the biggest companies in the world. Everyone wants your attention because it's your most valuable currency. And once you realize that, you will start focusing on the right things. You need to create an environment around you that is distraction-free, and that might be putting your phone on airplane mode. That might be listening to YouTube playlists, 1 hour of Succession music that makes you feel like Logan Roy, or a hedge fund investor betting against the real estate housing market in 2008. Love that movie. God, The Big Short, great movie. You got to find a way to develop this routine that allows you to become productive instead of busy. Because most people that work 10 hours really only get 1 hour of work done a day. If you have 3 hours of productive work, you can get 10 hours of work done a day. Just 3 hours of productive focused work on the right tasks that you have written out the day before on your whiteboard, on your journal, whatever it is. If you look at that list, you attack each one individually by order of importance as to which one it moves the needle the fastest and the biggest, then you will see success unlike anything else. That is the true reality. And Jerry Seinfeld, he had a great system where, obviously one of the best stand-up comedians of all time, and he would lock himself into a room and he would have no distractions. There's no artwork, there's no TVs, there's nothing. It is just a room, and he had a notepad and he had a pen, and all he could do, because he eliminated all the distractions, he did addition by subtraction, was that he could write jokes. That was all he could do to keep his brain occupied. It's the same thing. You may have to create an environment in your room where it's distraction free. Your phone's gone. You just have a computer. You have nothing to look at to distract you. You just focus on the task at hand. And by doing that, and by properly time blocking and assigning certain tasks with certain times. If I'm doing product research, I'll do that for a full hour. Then I'll move to my websites for another hour or 2 hours, depending on how long it takes me to make progress, to write that description, to get that product page done with the templates I have available. Same thing with your ads. You time block it properly. And if you do that every single day, not for one day out of a week, you watch this video and, I'm going to implement that. I got this motivation. No, you do it every single fucking day. And once you do that, it will compound. Your skills will compound. Your results will compound. By focusing on the inputs, by focusing on what I need to get done every single day, the outputs will happen. You will naturally get them as a byproduct of the actions you put in. Focus occurs, my friend, when you remove the distractions around you. Now, the final tactical things. In terms of books, I would recommend anything by Dan Kennedy when you need to learn direct response, because direct response is the most important skill you need to learn. So you can learn that through breakthrough advertising, getting the notes from that. You can learn that through anything by Dan Kennedy. If you stick to you just read 2 books. You don't need to read 20 books, my friend. Learning Masturbation. 1 to 2 very optimized books on direct response. 1 book about actual productivity, Atomic Habits. You are good to go, my friend. You don't really need any more information. You just need to put in the reps. That is it. When I look at someone who has become successful in my program, when I look at the top 1%, it was just the people that had an action bias. It is just that. They were people that got 2 months of work, a year's worth of work done in 2 months. And Elon Musk has a great quote about this where he says to himself, imagine your 5 to 10 year goal. Now think to yourself, how can I get that accomplished in 6 months? What work do I need to get done? What actions would I need to make? What chessboard pieces would I need to move that I never even thought were in play? That is always a great thought experiment. Because in dropshipping, it's not about the amount of time you put in that equates to your effort or your results. Because someone could have done it for a year and only tested 2 products, and someone could have been in it for a month and tested 10 products. And that person who has been in it for a month and tested 10 products and learned and improved and iterated is going to get drastically better skills and progress and get closer to the end result than someone who's been doing it for a year. Your amount of product tests and the quality that it develops and skills that develop from those tests are going to be the things that move the needle and get you to the results you want. So put in those reps. If you can test a year's worth of products in a month, which for most people, they test 10 products in a year. If you can get those done in a month, which is just really 2 to 3 tests a week, you are going to see much faster progress and get those results much quicker than you ever thought was possible. That is the truth. And I also want you to remember that the amount of time you put into something does not equate to the quality either. I could put an hour of work into my ads and you can put 5 hours of work into your ads, and my ads are going to perform better because I know the frame of reference, the skills, I know the little hacks, I know what hooks work, I know the shortcuts that I can do to create winning ads in an hour compared to you who's fumbling around, who's still learning, who's still getting your sea legs and putting in those reps. So just because you put a lot of time into that website or your ads and you think it's really pretty and it looks good doesn't mean it is. If you're not getting the results you want, fundamentally, no matter how much time you think you're putting in and how good you think your ads and skills are, it's not good enough. That's a problem. So you need to be learning. You need to be improving. You need to be studying winning ads. You need to be studying winning websites. You most likely need to be learning from someone else that gives you that new perspective, that new set of eyes to tell you, here's what you've been missing. Here's what you need to have done differently. And that is going to be what unlocks that new level of scale to get to 100 grand months that you never thought was possible. So I hope you all have a terrific new year. I really do. Like I said, I would not focus on your goals. I would not focus on resolutions. I would focus on what inputs and who do I truly need to become every single day to get 1% better. The focus should be on the process, 1% better. Process, 1% better every single day. Not trying to accomplish 100K a year, 300K a year, whatever your goal is. That should not be what you focus on and look at every single day. It should be test that product, build that website, test that product, build that website, create ads, media buy, put in those reps, repeat every single day, every single week. And naturally, you are going to reach that goal and you may accomplish it and actually surpass it by levels that are just insanely unfathomable. I know I keep saying that I keep saying the same things. I apologize for that. I think you get the point of this video and who you need to become. If you do need help tactically and you feel like you're lacking the strategies and information, just check out the videos on this channel and you'll be perfectly fine for free. So I wish you a terrific new year. I hope you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.